Good morning. It's Scott Cullen, editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. Friday morning, I'm here with our founder, Frank Cannata, who's been on the road. He's going to be sharing with us this morning a recent event he was at. And Frank, I'd love to hear what you saw and heard.
Scott, it's great to be with you as always. Good to see you. Well, the meeting was TD SYNNEX. They called it an executive print summit. Actually, they had invited us. They wanted me to sit on a panel, basically to address questions about diversification for dealers and similar issues. And I have to tell you that obviously I've known SYNNEX for a long time, but I really didn't know them because they had one panel with senior executives for different parts of the business talking about what they do. It's incredible, the breadth of services that they provide to dealers. I was never cognizant of that. I thought they were the typical distributor, a very good distributor that did with, parts, supplies, some accessories, et cetera, but not to the detail that they get in with on the IT side. That to me was very impressive. But let me just share some things with you that impressed the devil out of me. They have 22,000 employees, 50 years in business and being successful. 2 billion of 60, first of all, it's 63 billion in total revenue, 2 billion of which is in print. They carry the full HP portfolio. And after 20 months of their merger with Tech Data, they are servicing 150,000 customers. Now, the interesting thing about that $63 billion figure, when they merged in 2021, the press release stated the combined of Tech Data and SYNNEX would yield 57 billion. So they have improved by $6 billion over a couple of years. That in itself is noteworthy. They are now 109 on the Fortune 100 list. And I could go on and on and on. They're just, it just surprised the hell out of me, quite frankly. And it shouldn't have, but so be it. That's why I wanted to share it with our audience. And looking around the room and starting to talk to some dealers, who do I run into? I run into LDI, Gordon Flesh, Marco. Very impressive collection of partners. A few of the dealers that I didn't know, and one of them was smaller, and I was interested on what the value was for a smaller dealer with SYNNEX. And he said primarily it was on the IT side. And I thought that was cool. Now, tell me a little bit more about that. He said, well, they have a program. He said, they help you get started and they support you to get set up. He said, obviously, whatever you're buying, you're not getting the normal margin because you got to pay for it. You're paying for it indirectly. I said, yeah, that makes sense. But the idea is that in time, I'll be able to do this independently, but they'll get me up and running at a much lower cost. I said, that makes all the sense in the world. The most interesting thing about the whole meeting strategy, and it's clearly about the focus on customer first. Now, we all know we go to meetings and manufacturers, vendors of all stripes will say, yeah, we're a customer first organization. Well, based upon the customers they had in the room, I would say that's pretty sincere. Going back when they first announced that they were going to provide the full HP portfolio, I spoke to a couple of dealers who I shall remain nameless because I don't think they'd like me mentioning it. They really didn't care for tech data. And they were excited about SYNNEX because they were doing some level of business with them. But that being said, they're doing it, and they're doing it incredibly well. Some of the other information they afforded us, that this year they're up 17% for the first half of the year. They report that they hold a 74% market share. I got to tell you, that to me is very, very impressive.